we inherited quite an economic mess, and we've been working our way through that. I mean, the first part is to get government spending under control, which was a big driver of our domestic inflation numbers. As you know, when inflation goes up, interest rates go up, and as a result, the economy's been in recession, and that's led to some rising unemployment as well. So in essence, what we're having to relearn is the lessons of economics that we learned 35 years ago, and this generation of political leadership making sure that we deal with those. And that's why, there's some encouraging early signs. We're seeing inflation has come down from 7.3 down to 3.2. We expect it to be in the mid-twos in this quarter. We've seen certainly our first interest rate cut, and we're now on a downward trajectory on interest rates. And we've also seen business confidence at a 10-year high. So, we've now got to work our way through the spending, inflation, the interest rates, get growth back into the economy and keep people in work.
How much can the rate picture really help, particularly when it comes to animal spirits, right? As a former business leader, would you, with full respect to RBNZ independence, would you expect them, or I think that it's maybe a good idea for them to follow what the Fed has done, which is jumbo-sized easing?
Well, look, I mean, that'll be ultimately a decision for the Independent Reserve Bank, but there's two more opportunities before the end of the year to lower rates. I think what's been important is to make sure that fiscal policy and monetary policy are working together, and that's the bit that I can control, is certainly fiscal policy and making sure that we've got good, effective government spending, that it's not actually leading to an overheated economy and high inflation, which is what was the situation that was happening. And then for us, it's about getting the platform in place for growth, because New Zealand has a fantastic future. I mean, it really does. It's got so much potential, but we've really got to create the conditions for that future growth.
Does that mean you've got limited fiscal space to do things on that side, if we're talking about fiscal restraint?
Yeah, so we certainly have limited and constrained ourselves with respect to our operating allowances going forward, to make sure that we've got good fiscal consolidation and financial management in place, and we're bringing that discipline back into public service and back into government spending. But equally long term, or even medium term, we've got a lot of opportunity with respect to upgrading our infrastructure, embracing more science, technology, innovation, getting our education system working right, getting rid of red tape, making it an easy place to do business, and certainly international trade. So, New Zealand is well positioned in the world, I think, with the Indo-Pacific region, rapidly, growing middle classes, as you well know. We've got really strong, liberal, social democratic institutions in New Zealand. We've got abundant natural resources, and we have really outstanding people.
Do you worry about trade protectionism and punitive trade policies, particularly if there is a second Trump presidency?
Well, look, I think, in terms of the last 20 years, there has been, New Zealand has no doubt about it benefited from an international rules-based system, trade liberalisation. We're a small country without, tariffs, which we removed, decades ago in New Zealand. So we're competitive, and we really benefit. And we've been behind things like CPTPP with Singapore as the original sort of partners on that agenda, and we continue to believe in that. But no doubt about it, in the last 20 years, there's been quite a seismic shift in some of that thinking. So irrespective of, frankly, who gets in the US, there's still lots of opportunity for New Zealand, and frankly, we're going to work with whichever president the US people determine and decide on who will become president.